28.
28.
Yeah.
28, man.
Starting
Gosh.
off 2026.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year. Shabbat Shalom. Or we're not Shabbat no more, but Shalom.
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 Really excited for this new year
Yeah.
as we venture on and leave 2025 behind us.
Yeah.
It's gone.
It's gone. It's
Peace.
out of the way.
Later.
We're looking forward to some good things.
Good things.
So I think one of the most important thing is that we stay faithful, be excited for this new year,
Yeah.
and ready to go.
Yeah.
Just be excited. I'm excited. Or we can do, I'm excited. Are you excited?
It's 2026.
2020.
Wake up, brother.
Snap out of it. All right.
Well, that's awesome. Well, glad to have y'all back here on
Yes.
set 2026.
2026.
Let's kick this sucker off and
Yes.
let's jump right into it.
I think I think Shabbat was really good. We're in the last part of the parches. I guess that's what they call them, the parches.
Oh, Jacob.
The patriarchs.
That makes me sound like I'm thirsty or something. You know?
Parched.
Yeah.
Parched. The patriarchs of Joseph. And how
Or Jacob.
No, it was Jacob, now Joseph.
It's the guy.
And then we go into the life or into Exodus now.
Shmo.
Which is
Shmo.
a lot of teachings, I hope people read and study, and it cracks me up every time I think about that one. There's a preacher that started yelling at his congregation for not reading their Bibles.
I mean,
Well,
Yeah, but if I was to do that, it'd probably go viral. You don't
open your Torah Bible.
Anyways, so this
hello.
morning, as we're having a good morning,
Oh, yeah.
2 Corinthians chapter 6. Let me just read a little bit of scripture. I want to talk about being an influence. And so for believers, Paul says, do not be bound together with unbelievers or partnership with having righteous with lawlessness or fellowship with light or darkness. And so I believe that, what he is charging the ministries in the Corinthian church at this time, because they were going through a lot of division, a lot of problems, but being a good influence. And that's very important today.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of mixture in a lot of believers' lives today. They are mixing the world with church world, with Christian world, with the world.
Yeah.
And you got nowadays, even in the, what do you call it? The singers, worship singers are now turning to secular, and secular singers are turning to worship singers, and secular rappers are becoming Christian rappers, and the Christian rappers are becoming secular rappers, and it's just a whole, and they don't see a problem with it. No one sees a problem with it, but it's a big problem because the lifestyles.
The pollution.
Yes, it is really polluting.
It's has to do
the
with a lot of
ministries.
character, right?
Yes. So if the importance today is this is why, people's like, well, how come churches don't hang around with each other or go to other churches? There was a guy that we had. Remember the guy? He always wanted for me to go to another church on a Sunday. I said, why do I want to do that when I have mine? That doesn't make sense. So, or trying to pull people out of their churches, which I don't believe.
And call that soul winning.
Yeah, call that soul winning. But they're being bad examples. And I think one of the most important things that we have to always be reminded ourselves that we have to set the example. If we don't know nothing, then we should be honest about it. But if we always have to be aware of our surroundings, when people are being negative, there's nothing wrong to say, hey, you need to stop being negative, man. Come on, get it together.
Yeah.
Start walking right.
But hey, what's wrong?
But that's the whole purpose, because otherwise they take our faith in a negative thing. And so that's not, we should not want that.
That's good.
But we have to encourage those to be one with Messiah and not with the world. So I think it's a challenge to work hard and setting the example as Yeshua did. So
What are you supposed to do in moments when you try to confront those things, like you say, like people being trying to people that are like negative in a way? So I guess the best option is just to say what you have to say and just walk away from it, or
well, you only walk away when there's you can't agree to something. Okay, and then it's not really trying to walk away. People get away from things because and we disagree most of the time. But the whole process of helping somebody is being there
mm,
and trying to work it out. That's why in marriages, when it comes to they call it a delusion of marriage, where they cannot agree, it's just not going to happen. And so it's just okay. We'll just go our separate ways.
just done.
Yes, which it's very hurtful. It's very sad because now you got a camp of people who have to choose side,
Hmm.
and nobody likes that. It's like when we left the ministry. You know, people are looking at, hey, is that guy betraying this person or that? There's two sides to every story.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they shouldn't have to be like that. I personally like, well, you choose a side. That's your business, whatever. You long for the friendships and whatnot, but things happen, and so you always goes back to Barnabas and Paul. When you go back and look at their lives and what did they really fight over? Does it make sense?
No.
No. Does it make sense when So the whole process is if I didn't believe in working and helping and guiding individuals, uh, they would not. We wouldn't have a place where we have today. It's tried to win them over by being the best example that
To
you can
be
be.
influential.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
in today's world, what do you call the influencers?
Yeah.
Is that what is it
It's like
called?
social media thing.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just see a persona online. You don't see their lives.
And you don't actually see that that's actually influencing your decisions and
Yes.
your behavior.
Yes. You just see what's on camera or
Right.
whatever they call. I don't know what you guys call them, but and you just see like Facebook. You see the happy,
Right.
but you don't really see behind it.
No trials.
Yeah,
and
you don't see all the arguments,
and-
the fights,
yeah.
and controlling, and all these other issues.
I think that's why we like this platform of live, because there's no editing. There's no.
No.
I mean, it's raw,
Yeah.
raw footage of who y'all are.
Well, we want. I would love to be that example that everybody deserves a chance. I believe this. All right, is that if you're gonna go somebody, be open and say, hey, I need some truth in my life. Okay, the person who's gonna give you the truth, they're gonna try to guide you to the understanding of not your point of view, but the point of view of Yahweh.
Mm.
What the scriptures say. How we interpret it is everything. And who are we doing it for?
Right.
Pastors today just want disciples. They don't want to deal with their character flaws and their nonsense. So they pick and choose the right ones for them instead of working with those individuals to get them to be the mind of Messiah. And that's a very difficult thing because in this day and age, you got all these, sexual things that are happening, homosexual, transgenders, people that battle, they're Christians in a church and they're battling all these things on the inside and they don't know how to come out and say, hey, I'm struggling with this. If you're supposed to be a disciple, how do you tell somebody you're gay? But you're supposed to be a believer. How do you tell somebody that you're struggling with gayness? Is that the right word?
I mean,
The gay.
yeah.
Okay. So you're amongst men, and that's you don't find those in circles today because they'll ridicule them. They start attacking that individual. What's wrong with you? All these other things. Instead of just being a good example for that individual and teach them the ways of Messiah and let the Holy Spirit do the rest.
Amen.
And that will guide them into truth. Like saying, hey, right away they think, well, I have to be married and I have to have, no, just be married to Messiah first. learn to grow, and everything else will be in place in your life.
That's right.
And so, if most people can, like when we deal with dysfunction, everybody has, and we read yesterday in the life of Jacob's family, they're very dysfunctional. Jealousy, envy, all those things.
Bunch of boys. Man.
Yes, and you got all these knuckleheads and they're whatever they're going through and take it out on one person. But that's a part of families today. Is that when they go to a church and they hide all those problems, and then they're not really getting the instruction that they need over a pulpit in whatever
30
20,
minutes.
20-minute teaching.
No.
And so unless they're dealing with that, and they go home with the same problems. So I think if you study your word and you want to be bound, most people want you should be bound to other believers, not unbelievers.
Right.
And that's what Paul's speaking about. So we have to hopefully we can set a good example on what is true light, as Paul says.
That's a good point, though.
Yes.
Because those things and that worldly stuff just influences if you're around it all the time. So.
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
Well, that's good. Let's kickstart this. 2026.
Yes.
Here we are. What do y'all think's different this year? What's shifted since we last sat down on our last podcast? How was y'all's New Year's? Didn't y'all have an event?
Yeah, we did.
Oh yeah, it was good
I thought
worship.
it was awesome.
Worship.
I thought it was
Even though I was
awesome.
kind of like fumbling everywhere with it,
Why?
just the order,
No, that was good.
That was
He's on
fun.
you.
It was fun. Yeah.
I really sit there and I was
Yes,
just
he does.
really letting it taking it all in, and when Yahweh speaks, he speaks, and I could feel the Holy Spirit just really ministering to us, and that's very important for people's lives today because you go in with all these troubles and all these issues, whatever day that you may have had or not, but that's what the worship should do. It should just minister to your spirit, man, and and then later on we'll get that understanding, that direction.
Yeah.
And I believe that Yahweh is going to bring us breakthroughs in each individual, and that doesn't mean like people, I'm going to have a financial breakthrough. It's not what I'm talking about.
The outpouring of the money.
Yeah. And speaking, when I say, when Yeshua speaks and says, hey, you're going to get through this, you'll be fine. That means there's a breakthrough coming through in your spiritual life. That means that we're going to draw closer to him. In order for us to draw closer, we must learn to sacrifice a lot of things in our lives. And whatever the sacrifice could be, like I don't want to be like I was in 2025, okay? It's 2026. What do I want? I want to be more spiritual. Well, then, if you want to be more spiritual,
Do more spiritual
okay,
things.
yes, you got to do more spiritual things. Like what? Pray, read. Make the sacrifices that are needed, and that's what's the breakthrough is all about.
Amen to that.
So,
Yeah.
and makes changes.
That's a
One
good
said,
answer.
I think the worship was awesome, very different, and the Ruach led.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
It's
Absolutely.
awesome.
very much.
So, guys, y'all both been in ministry long enough to sense seasons. Pastor, mostly you. What season are we in right now? And Jeremy, we'd like to hear from you on that too.
Well, right now this is the lukewarm era. I'm not gonna ever divert from that because it's happening and it's getting worse. Okay. We are heading to 2026. This is a platform, prophecy wise, that will set the tone for whatever happens in Jerusalem. Now, according to the scripture, Yeshua gives us and I can't get into the whole story, the story about the Samaritan, the Good Samaritan, okay? But in the final end, it talks about, and this is just an analogy about what he says about the shekels, 2 shekels or 200 shekels or whatever it was, I think it was. But it's supposed to represent the 2,000 years. So Yeshua if Yeshua, now we could be wrong on the dates, I'm not too sure. But some say it was between 27 AD to 30 AD. Okay, so that makes 27 AD the platform of 2000, of the beginning of the 2000 year, right before the end of that reign, of Yeshua's reign. So 2030 would be something that's going to take place. Could be the coming, it could be, as they call, the rapture, it could be a lot of things. But we know something's going to happen.
It's something.
Yeah, because every 1,000 years you go back and you see in Genesis something happened. And in the 2000, of course, we see from Genesis to, I believe it was Noah, from Noah to Abraham. And you see something mighty taking place. So it's very possible. So that's why, but right now, no one's really saying all this because they don't really care about that.
Or they don't want to be wrong.
Yes. So this is where the lukewarm era, I should say, uh, that everybody could be. Is like you hear something, even if a prophetic prophecy happened from heaven to earth right now, people would be like, oh, but nothing.
I'd have to say that the way I see the season right now, it's a dry season. I feel like that's how I could describe it. Yeah, we have great worship, we have great fellowship, but in a sense of your day to day, like I just feel, I guess this is exactly what Pastor's saying though. Is like it's like a lukewarm, it's a real monotone type fire. You know, like you can just tell when things are on fire that the spirit's moving, but right now it's just like people are not tuned in.
Yeah, that's true.
In Revelation chapter 3, verse 15 says, I know your deeds, that you're neither cold nor you're hot. It says, I wish you were either cold or hot, but because you're lukewarm, you're neither hot nor cold. And this is what he says. This is the point that everybody misses out, where he says, I will spew you out of my mouth. I mean, that we're no longer a part of him. We're a part of whatever society that we're living in. And right now, okay, so the focus on a lot of people's minds right now is money. Okay, money is the number one issue. Okay, so a lot of people are realizing that all these prosperity preachers are liars. They're not becoming rich. Okay, they're not. They're like, hey, well, I'm giving all to this, this, and this. Where's it going? Now you have a lot of exposing and all these things that are taking place, but it's not drawing them back to Yeshua. It's sending them out further and further.
That place burned me. God,
Yeah.
for real.
So you take it out. I don't want to go to any church. I think
Yeah.
all these, and it's true.
They're all fake.
You know, all these pastors and all these people. It's not just the pastors. It's the people around that guy. Okay, who are spreading the same stuff.
That's right.
Mm.
And it's really awful. So, you know, you got to be careful when he says, I will spew you out of my mouth. And he goes into the next scripture. You say that because I am rich, I'm wealthy, and I need of nothing. I don't need you anymore.
Dang.
That's good.
So if you really want Yeshua, it'll display in your life. It will show that you're hungry, that your mind is around the study of the scriptures to know him, and you're willing to go the extra mile to help people, not because of it's a part of your works, it's because you love to do it. And I hope that's what people realize. So when we talk about times and seasons and whatnot, and but look at what's taking place. Even in Israel right now, Hamas is still these people are still attacking the people, and so you know the leadership there, it's not gonna stop. Okay, it may have a little peace for a minute, and we may hear things. But you go look at
I heard
look
about that.
look what's happening in Iran right now.
Iran, they're developing
Okay.
hatred against.
Iran is because their money, this is it. Money's everything. Their money has fallen, collapsed. And so now everybody's out there protesting against the government. Okay, look what took place yesterday. Okay, with our country going into Venezuela and capturing the guy.
Yeah.
Their goal is to stop drugs.
Yeah.
You know how long I've been involved with this lifestyle, you know, to know that it's how hypocritical is it? Yes, stop fentanyl, okay? You're going to stop drugs. But then yet half of this country has a weed shop everywhere. Somebody explain that to me. Okay, of course you got all these Christians that who smoke weed will tell you something. Whoa, the weed's from the ground. All these weird things. But what's the reality? I mean, you're never going to stop evil until evil is taken out,
Right.
and that starts with Satan. So at some point in time, but all these things are apart, and no one is speaking out about these. They're not really, especially believers. They're very quiet. They're ready to protest. They're ready to do a lot of things, but when it comes to truth, they're hiding behind it.
I feel like there's a real rise on the anti-Semitic
Oh,
too.
absolutely.
Like it's just getting
Absolutely.
crazy. Like people are like anti-Jew. Like,
Yes, yes.
and you're just seeing it on everywhere, even on social media platform. People are just like, "Was Hitler right?" and this and that. I'm like, wow.
Well, yeah, because they have a voice now, and the voice that they should be speaking is of Yeshua, but they're not. They're using it. Even the churches are anti-Semitic, and people don't want to believe that. They're anti-Jewish, and it's not good. It's not good at all.
It's true.
But this is all a part of the prophecy, though. This is a part of the shaking. This is a part of the dryness. Okay, like when you come, you're like, okay. Some people walk in like, here we go again.
Yeah.
This, you should not have that attitude.
Right.
Imagine that person standing. If okay, according to Revelations chapter 5, you're in the heavenlies, and you see the angels singing, "Holy, holy," and that person, here we go again.
We're doing this again today. That'd be scary.
And there's always probably a few that do that. But anyways,
Yeah, I think people look at other people. And that's
Yeah.
why they become seco.
yeah,
So,
it's you got to work
Right.
through all. You got to work through all that stuff.
All right, here's a question for y'all. When y'all both hear the word Torah, what comes to your mind first?
Instruction.
Okay.
Instruction. And you have to understand. See, that's the whole thing about Torah is that what does it mean? It means instruction. And as I was saying to the guys this morning, one of the most important thing that happened to me is that the book of Leviticus. And believe it or not,
It's really good.
people dislike it because it deals with separation. You're serving a holy father, and you cannot bring your worldly things into the holy. You can't. And so it deals with common and holy. I mean, separation, kadosh.
Mm-hmm.
So the instruction of how to do this, and it's not for everybody.
So when other people hear the word Torah, they automatically think Old Testament law, right?
Yes.
So,
Law.
or they say we don't follow that anymore.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, the book of Leviticus. Oh, that's just a book of laws and rules. Blah,
Okay.
Blah, blah. So what are they missing here?
What they're missing is that somebody's telling them. They're not looking for themselves. They're repeating something that some preacher, some leader, and usually if it's not the preacher, because today's preachers they don't like confrontation. Okay, they don't like to be confronted. They don't like to be asked questions because they have no answer. Okay, they cannot answer that question. So when you hear them say, "Well, that is from the law or the Old Testament," and we don't follow that. So most people, I would say 90% of believers that are sitting in churches are repeating either what the pastor said or some type of Bible teacher or a leader or something that they heard online. It's never for themselves to go look it up and take the time. And like I said, if they read Matthew chapter 5, verse 15, they would understand that Yeshua said that he didn't come here to abolish the Torah. Plain and simple. And so if they don't get that, then they're just repeating something that somebody else said. It's like if I told one of my kids, this is not right, or don't do this, and because it's bad for your health, or whatever the case may be, he's going to repeat that to his kids and then whoever else around him
Without learning why.
without learning why.
Just do it.
Yes.
So when it comes to the feast, the appointed times, these weren't just Jewish holidays, right?
Nope.
So can we talk about that for a second?
Sure.
They're not Jewish holidays.
What
They're
are they?
established by in the time of the 40 years in the wilderness. Yahweh spoke to Moses about these appointed times that Yahweh would visit his people, and there's certain entities that are present during these feasts as well.
What do you mean?
Ceremonial standards that occur during these feasts.
You see the separation right away. In Leviticus 23, Yahweh speaks to Moses and says, first and foremost, he says, speak to the sons of Israel.
Mm.
You're speaking to the priests, you're speaking to the leaders, you're speaking to the elders, and then it's the congregation. And then he says, Yahweh These are Yahweh's appointed times, and you shall proclaim them as holy convocations. It says, my appointed times are these. So he's saying that these are mine, not yours, they're his. So if you love Abba, you love the Father, uh, then you will do those things. And if not, because someone influenced you to tell you, don't believe in all that. That was the Old Testament.
So, do you personally believe, personally, that someone could believe in, like, let's say, all the feasts that are in Torah and traditional holidays? You can't celebrate Passover because it's,
Easter.
yeah. Well, you know what I mean? Like, you can't celebrate or even have a Passover meal like it does,
The
say,
main problem is Christmas Day.
and Easter.
Easter. It's not you okay. The
Can they do
people
both?
no, you were not allowed to do both. Okay? But people do that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna stop it because why? Oh, we're
It's
not keep
tradition.
just come over. It's just no. See, they lure you in.
Mhm.
And then when you show up, you feel some
Tight.
type of way.
Oh yeah,
I'm in a tight spot.
tight.
So at some point in time, you have to make that decision to stand your ground and say, no, we're not doing this.
What do you believe in?
Yes, we're not doing this. And that's
and
it.
and it boils down to our belief, their belief, the other person, and it's just
Yes,
then it becomes
the whole
a
thing.
chorus situation.
We're if we now I'm not saying, but I know that we here in our ministry,
We the people,
we the people keep Shabbat.
right?
Now there are other who say that they're Messianic, and they may keep Shabbat at home and they go to a Sunday church. So that's very hypocritical in my point of view. Even though that because I justified that for a long time. This is why I'm keeping Shabbat, but I'm preaching on Sunday. But I want to be a follower wholeheartedly to what the Torah says and the beliefs are.
Okay, let's be completely transparent here. We come to service on Shabbat
Yes,
instead of a Sunday traditional day,
right.
but we're not fully keeping the Sabbath day the way opposed to like other people that have been doing it for a while. I mean, there's like a lot of rules like can't do this, don't do this, don't do this, can't do that, don't work, don't start a fire, don't
Yeah,
it means
no.
Don't take out the trash.
I mean like there's so many things that I know we're learning.
Look, all those things, okay, that we can justify or not, and say, yeah, well, okay, those are after the fact. What it says is, this is my meeting place.
Right.
This is my
Come and
appointed
hear
time.
from him.
Come and hear from me, and
Right.
we do that.
I believe that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're coming now. Now tradition says this. Okay. All right. The Jewish believers. Even I read this the other day, that you are not to travel on
Then
a
how do they
Shabbat.
get to their building?
Okay.
Huh?
You're only allowed. I think it was the Mishak.
The days
That
walk.
you're only allowed to drive, like, and they had no word. They didn't drive, but the
Right.
rabbis
Right.
today's years ago, about 10 to 15 miles away. That's as far as you're allowed to go. But then yet, people make their pilgrimage or their way to Shabbat further than that. So shall they be condemned? No, that's not what it's talking about. It's a heart of worship. Everything else after that, you say, well, I'm not gonna. I would say, don't wash clothes, don't clean your house,
Don't go to work.
don't go to work if you can. If you have to work, well, that's because are you going to be condemned for that? No, but at some point in time, everybody stands up. They allow the Muslims to keep certain things at prayer times and everybody else. And Christian believers or believers in Messiah don't do that. Don't make a stand because of fear. And so they choose not to. Oh, I have to. I have to. And so they rather miss Shabbat than do what's right. So what's more honorable? To follow man's tradition or what scripture says?
Some people think, oh, church is not that important. You don't have to be there. What is y'all's take on that?
I think you have to be there because if you start missing it, then your character starts falling apart, and you don't get fed. You don't have that fellowship with with you.
It's an appointment. Like people make their appointments all the time.
Yeah, no.
Well, they believe it's not important just as much as drinking is not that bad. You, as I said before, you know, here, Pastor Joe, take a drink, take a drink. No, why? Because I will rob you, and I stand by that. Because one thing just sets a fire to another thing, and then before you know, you got full on engulfed flames.
Yeah.
You're like, well, you're weak. Call me what you want. I am devoted to the Torah. I'm devoted to my walk.
I'm saved, not soft.
I'm not gonna. That's not gonna happen. You know, I'm not gonna compromise. Everybody else wants to, then that will be on their conviction. They would have to stand and if you don't follow, I mean, if you don't believe in this, there's no point of following. You're gonna do it anyways. Okay, and people, you can judge. People judge that. Oh, I had to go to the store. I had to go do this, and you know, everything's an emergency. So you know, at some point in time, and I said this from the very start. Okay, as we're coming into this, we're gonna grow more and more on what not to do
Mm-hmm.
because what not to do would lead us to doing what's right.
Right.
It's good.
And so when we grow into those things, we'll see the difference.
Agree.
Okay, we will see the difference. And that's the whole point. Is
And I
that
think-
each year you're growing.
I think that our congregation, like I know some of the women, even people that are like even in the home. I mean, like if someone was to ask y'all, and I'm talking to the viewers, whoever's watching, if someone was to ask y'all, what is the feast? I mean, Pastor just basically gave you the answer, and it's biblical. It's not his opinion. It's that's an important question to be asked. I believe as us believers, like, what is a feast? Like you get challenged with that, and you get it's
It's a place where we eat.
you know.
It's a big old eating
The,
place.
the word feast is what it means. It's a celebration. It's a time to manja.
Manja.
Yeah.
It's time to eat. It's time to.
Mariano said, "Good morning, y'all."
Barely?
Mariano.
Barely getting up, Mariano?
I believe we condemn ourselves in some of the things on Shabbat.
Well, yeah,
Who
because
said that?
who doesn't?
That
doesn't?
was Yeshua saved Angela.
Yeah. Well, because we're looking at the wrong things.
Yeah, we condemn
Okay.
us,
Okay. It says, "Do not do work." Okay, but then yet, you know, we can look at. Oh, I had to turn on the light. All these things that Jewish people do, that they hire people out to do, and here you say, well, is it we're gonna go to hell because that's the first thing comes to people. Am I gonna go to hell
I'm
because
condemned.
I ate pork or I did this, I did that? No, you know, you got bigger problems to worry about that. You know, if you're a liar, deceiver, those things you need to worry about and get right.
Not what's
Okay,
kosher.
that's what. Yeah, right now. I mean, like I said, at some point in
Dang.
time, at some
Fat,
point in
son.
time, you will make a decision. Hey, you know what? I'm not going to eat pork no more. Or you're going to make a decision. I'm not going to eat this no more. Or I'm not going to do this. I know I had to do my yard. I could have did it all week long. Or I wanted to go see my kids or whoever. I could have did it this day, but I chose this day.
It's like a diet.
Yes. So you got to
Permanent one.
pretty much. And
Yeah.
and at some point in time, you grow into those things and you'll see what's right. But at the same time, Yahweh does his will to make us go through things, and it hurts. And it hurts when he has us go through trials or testings and whatnot. So
Sheesh.
We should get a,
it's a matter of growth.
we should get a separate screen right here so we can see
We
what
can see
you're
this.
saying.
That's all
I
right.
told you I'd be the moderator here.
Okay.
Mikey said time to eat.
Well, like we don't like. How long has it been since like we don't allow pork in the men's home anymore?
Yeah, we haven't cooked the pork butt in a long
Okay.
time.
We buy turkey bacon.
Turkey
Me and my
bacon.
wife, we buy turkey bacon.
Beef pepperoni.
You know, I got that from Pastor Otero. I think, wow, I didn't know they did that. Or like,
That's
you
good.
know, which small little changes that you can do and change. Like I didn't know shrimp was. I honestly I didn't know it was that. You know,
Bottom feeder.
bottom feeders or
So it's crab.
or
Lobster.
I used to like lobster.
Do
All
they-
those things that are tasting good.
That's
Those-
disgusting.
those are
Carnitas.
insects of the
Oh
sea.
my gosh, I love me some carnitas.
Crab?
Can't have it no
You
more.
like crab?
Can't have it no more. So
I
the,
haven't had
the
crab
point
for a
the
while.
point being now
Don't eat
let me
crab
give you
more.
something real quick. Here's what the believers of the day in Acts chapter 15. Okay, when they were as the Christians call it, the Christians were coming to faith. And all they were charged to do, okay, in verse 29, to abstain for the things are sacrificed to idols from blood, okay, or from blood or strangulations or fornication. This is the important one. Stay away from fornicators, all right? Keep yourself free from such things. This is the rules were given to these new believers because they believed in idol worshiping. Okay, they believed in little things that caused them to stumble. They're all coming to faith, and he says, "Don't drink blood. Don't eat food sacrificed to idols. Don't all those things because they were pigs and they were whatnot." Okay, and stay. Don't fornicate. Half of the church are fornicators.
Don't be fornicating, man.
They're fornicators, or they hang around with fornicators.
Yep.
You hang around with people that are living with whatever many women, men and women, yeah, boyfriend and girlfriend. Those are wrong. And nowadays,
It's accepted.
it's even worse with these youngsters, from the teen to the 20s, that they don't see a problem with the transgender. Christian believers, parents who don't tell their kids this is wrong.
Because society's made it okay.
Okay, and so you have believers doing this.
I mean, if the world could influence people to believe, why can't believers influence other believers?
Because accept it. All you need is one church or one pastor, one believer, one mom, one dad to say, you know what, as long as you're in love, you're fine.
They said it was okay over there.
Sheesh.
Stay away from those things. And those are rules for the Christians, but they're like, no, we don't believe in those rules.
So, what does it mean practically to have your house built on a rock when everything else is shaking?
Well, it's your foundation is Yeshua. You stand on the word of the Torah.
He's
That's
a rock.
as you laid the foundation down.
He is the rock.
Yes, he laid the foundation, and everything
Firm.
around you can fall apart, but you're standing boldly for your faith.
Hmm.
It's a great place to build on.
Yes.
All right, Jeremy, you're not the one up front preaching every week like Pastor is. So you're in the trenches of everyday life. So, what are you wrestling with right now?
Am I wrestling with? Balancing out spirituality and then work. Balancing out putting the effort into let's say doing like Bible studies or groups or teachings, and then staying on top of my workload too. Like having that balance, that's something I'm struggling with right now. Making sure that when I come home, I'm not just I just want to go to bed. No, I need to open up my Bible, maybe study a little bit, schoolwork too. I mean, just balancing that out to where I'm putting equal effort into my spiritual life as I am into my work life. And that's where I feel like I'm like falling out of balance, and I need to pick that up coming into this new year.
Awesome. All right, Pastor, same thing for you. You are the one in the up front preaching every week, and you're also in the trenches of everyday life. So, what are you wrestling with right now?
Well, I can't say I really wrestle. Well, maybe I do. I think for me, it's more seeing. I still believe in people being saved, but how are they being saved? So, like, we got a house full of men, and each one of them have a different goal. Some come just to get clean and sober, and that's it. And others come and they're indecisive about their lives, and no matter they have a want to change, and they have a want to do what's right, but they still want to be a part of the same world that they left. And so what I wrestle with is that, what, how are they going to be mature if I'm making sure I'm doing my part? And so when you see others indecisive and they're double-minded and they're always waving back and forth, it's scary because they can draw back. And, especially for some guys who get that mentality, forget it. And then a lot of them end up in a place where they die. And so that's scary. I mean, how many men I still think about, who great guys, I think, but chose that life and they ended up passing away. That's really bothers me, because death is a real thing, and they die in their drugs, and they die in their alcohol, and they die like that, or they go to prison. And the other night I got a call from one guy. He's such a good guy, and
Must have been, no, go ahead.
well,
I'm
he's
just kidding.
he, pastor. I'm over here. He's in Santa Fe. He's in the prison. I guess they're gonna check him in or something.
Dang it.
I'm going through it. Please pray for me. And of course, I pray for him. But each one of these guys always have potential to do what's right, but they always choose the wrong thing, and they end up in those places. It's not his first time or his last time. I'm hoping. He goes, well, are you still gonna be there when I get out? I said, I've never left. I'm always gonna be here. But those are the things that you wrestle with. Is that uh, to see them continue in their lives and make right decisions personally, and
Yeah, of course.
of course, the teachings. I'm always uh, going over my teachings. I want to make sure I'm speaking truth. I want to make sure I know what I'm talking about, and so I study a lot. So when I get ready to teach it, that it's not just something that I'm saying, but something that I'm doing as well. And I think the key to everything that every believer needs is called discipline. Is discipline. And I learned that when I was home. I had a lot of
Such an ugly word.
yes, an ugly word that nobody likes.
Yeah.
Discipline.
It just challenges your
Someone
life.
says, we all have to be good examples living for Yeshua for our unsaved family and friends.
Yes.
Man,
Agreed. So, how do you stay spiritually sharp when you got work, family, and all the normal life stuff?
prayer.
Lots and lots of prayer.
I think prayer is like the,
I
fundamental thing.
I
People think it's such a simple
100%.
word,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I 100% agree with that, but like, I dislike just that answer.
but it's putting forth
It's personal. It's
put
like,
forth
pray
the
about
effort.
it.
Well, if you don't pray very often, then you'll think it's just a basic answer. But if you know the effects and the power of prayer, then
Yeah, but like when someone's actually asking for some sort of direction, just pray. Yes, it's
sounds
true. No, it's
sounds
true.
so basic, but it's
Right.
Well,
not.
okay, let me say it this way. They can come and ask that question, and this happens to me a lot.
Stir it up.
That
It
I will
sounds
say,
basic, it's not, though.
people who come and ask me questions about life or anything in general, do you want the answer? They come and they just spew things out, but they don't want the direction behind it, and they disagree with it.
Hmm.
So, yeah, sometimes it can just be, you just need to pray. That's it? Yes. And they say, well, what do you mean just pray? Okay, do you want an answer to your problems? Okay. And so, do you want to listen to the answer? And oftentimes they don't want to listen.
It's weird, yeah. I
Yeah.
know.
They don't want to hear because it points to their beliefs. It points to who they are.
It deals with
It
them.
gets their insecurity. Okay, because they don't want to realize sometimes the problem is you.
Hmm.
Okay, well, I didn't know you did a lot. You said this, you did you whatever that comes out is you're trying to point at the other person's fault. In all reality, you caused the problem. So no one wants to hear that.
Mm-mm.
So when you're asking, you're going before you have it in prayer. First of all, prayer is not just something to walk up and blame everybody. Prayer is to confess your sin first. You confess, maybe I handled it wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have said, because you're going to play that back in your mind. Especially when it comes, let me tell you something when it comes to children, okay? You got dysfunctional children. Well, they didn't become dysfunctional because of themselves.
They learned it.
They learned it from you,
Yeah.
okay? So this is what we get, okay? Most mothers, girlfriends, and grandmothers, and sisters, and aunties, and all these other ones bring their kids and say, fix him. Okay, fix him. That's all they say, fix him. I'm tired of him, get rid of him. So, but what am I fixing?
Right. What's wrong
Okay.
with this guy?
Why is he like this?
What had he been through?
I was a good mom. I was this, and I did the best for my. No, you didn't. No, you
Enabled
didn't.
him. something.
So if you enabled him, if whatever it is that you have, you confess those things. Maybe I was the problem. And you
Facts.
pray about those things to help you
Yeah.
not to be a problem, but in turn, give me the words to be the solution. So you can't just push past your disagreements, your opinions on people unless you know what you're talking about. If you caused the problem, be honest with that person. Yes, I caused the problem. I shouldn't have did it. Like when people get offended and get mad. Why? Why do they get offended and mad?
Deals with their
It's
character.
personal, yeah.
Yeah, but
Deals-
why? Somebody gets mad at you that something happened like 5 or 3 years ago, and you have no idea what's going on, and they, say, "Well, I tried to get your attention, and you didn't waste my time," and they go on their merry way, and they're still talking about it 5 or 6, 10 years later.
That's crazy. I don't know.
That doesn't make sense to me. Is that okay? If you're over it, you're over it. I'm warning the people.
Like, let it go already. Yeah? Say, hey, what's
So
up?
yeah, but and every man and every pastor, every person, everyone, we're all flawed by something. The thing is that we're never given the chance to make things right. We stay in those flaws and we stay in the accusations because hurt people want to hurt others,
Hurt people like to hurt people.
and that's it. So that takes a lot of prayer to discuss these things
That's
before
cool.
you have it.
In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. Prayer is intimacy with Adonai. Otherwise, we just are leaning on our own understanding.
That happens a lot.
That was a comment that was read.
Yes.
Proverbs 3:6 or 3:5.
3, 5, and 6, and 7.
Yeah.
Technically.
3, 5 in it.
6, 7.
3, 5, 6.
Don't be 3,
6,
5 in
7,
it,
6,
man.
3,
7.
5 in it, man.
What is this 6-7 nonsense?
I don't know.
Is it demonic?
I have no. I don't even go there with that. I mean,
My mind went there when Jeremy was doing this. earlier.
It's just a trend. It's a
Yeah.
trend.
Who
People
knows?
kept going.
6, 7.
It'll die off.
So when you both look at the state of things around us, like the ministry, the culture, what concerns y'all the most?
Lack of understanding.
I think the like I was saying earlier, I think it's the rise of the anti-Semitism and the lies behind it. I think that's the biggest thing that I'm seeing right now, and then like the rejection of it and the rejection of the belief of Yeshua.
I know we go through that personally out there, but
Yeah.
I mean it's not just us; it's
It's worldwide.
everywhere.
Yeah,
The other day,
it's scary. Yeah.
this one individual, he's a Jewish believer, but he has a lot. And I see him at the market, and he says, "Nobody's threatened you?" And I said, "No." I go, "What do you mean by threatening me?" I mean, I personally get threats, yes. No, nobody has come and said they're gonna bomb your kahila or this because you guys you're Messianics. I said, "No, we haven't." I never thought of that.
Yeah,
Never thought of that.
Well, we're not Jews.
Yeah, but they believe that we are
but even like the rise of the
anti-Semitism and all
the,
those
the Muslim
Yeah,
nation.
yes, but we don't really. It's not even really the Muslim nation. It's go. I mean, okay, look at yesterday. They did that thing in Venezuela. Okay, I'm always says I say that wrong. The country. Okay, they kidnapped or took the guy.
How you say
Stopped the
that?
drugs.
Venezuela.
Venezuela. Anyways.
You talk like us. It's
Okay, so there's an uprising here with all these people protesting.
For what?
Okay, why? And how come they don't do that in their own country?
Right.
Because they'll kill them. So you come to America, it's like this. Okay, Muslims do all their nonsense over there in their country, and the women here in this country put their little scarves on and say "Free Palestine," and say all this crazy stuff here.
Mm.
But they can't go do that over
Right,
there.
they'll get killed.
They'll get killed. And so, like those people who are living in that country right now are saying, "Hey, we're free because this dictator's gone." And over here, they're protesting about it.
Yeah.
You kidnapped him. Does that make sense to
No,
anybody?
No.
So that's pretty crazy if you ask
People want
me.
something to fight for, but they're fighting for the wrong thing.
Wrong reason. So no matter what, we're going to be judged for every little thing that society says.
yeah.
Craziness.
I think we're coming to a close here, but I do
So
want to say, I say a few things. After the live is uploaded and y'all could go back and look at it, please do comment any concerns, questions you might have for these two wonderful gentlemen.
Jot 'em down.
And if there's anything else, Pastor, like if this is the one and only podcast episode someone listens to all year, and Jeremy, like what would you want them to walk away with?
I would allow you to walk away with Yeshua,
Come back.
that you would do some research for yourself.
Okay.
I don't believe in telling people not to go to a church, but I would say research it for yourself.
Or ask questions, huh?
Ask questions. You're allowed to go to your pastor and question him. Give him the third degree, and see what he says.
But don't be disrespectful.
Don't be disrespectful. Go, and you're allowed to ask questions
Yeah.
about the Torah, about everything, about start with Matthew 5:17. Research the difference between Jesus and Yeshua, and hopefully that will do something in turning your heart, and you would now start keeping Shabbat. I think that would be one of the most important things of people's life, and you will grow slowly into.
Jer?
I would have to say, look up. Just start with Passover. Just do some research on Passover. That's what I would say. Look it up because it changed my perspective completely. What is Passover? And then it'll just point out Easter, and then dig into the Feast of Yahweh, and then you'll just be like, what is all this? And then
Bam.
you'll have questions.
The funniest thing I hear when you hear people say, like you got that comment, oh, he's just mimicking what pastor's saying. Well, that's what disciples in churches do with their pastors. They're just half of the congregation is repeating what the pastor said over the pulpit. Okay? That's not true, because we teach you guys to look it up yourselves. All right? It's not something that when Jeremy says, hey, this is I looked it up for myself and I came to the choice. That's honest. When you get naysayers saying, no, you're just doing this and doing that. No.
I think that applies to everyone though when we went through a transition in our ministry. It's kind of like everyone had that personal choice. Like, okay, well, is Pastor Joe, is he nuts or is he actually teaching truth? So everyone had that moment to go and research, but let's go.
Yes. Well, like I said before, for me, I didn't want to bring nothing out until I was sure. And I took me on how many years, man, until I found it. And you got someone I would say for me, it was more like confirmation. And I was on the right track. I won't say my track is always steady, but I'll say it's on the right one. You got bumps and things.
Well,
but when I was a disciple
got some big rails on that thing.
under the old ministry pastor would say, you need to do as I do.
Yeah.
And I always disagreed with that. Let me be my own man.
Oh yeah, we're our own man.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Well, that was great, guys. Good discussion. Glad to have y'all on set for 2026 first podcast.
2026.
Yes.
Man.
Excitement.
I do challenge all the viewers, please
Study.
ask questions, study, use this live platform as an opportunity to interact with the live raw footage of Pastor Joe and Jeremy.
Let's close. Wait.
Yeah.
Close it out with prayer. Yaverechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yihuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. And the Lord lift up his face to you and give you shalom.
Peace.
So, shalom.